Right, sir?
No, thank you. Guarda che bello. Ma vai lontano, bello.
This is where 4 years of college got me. Don't laugh, another 4 years, another graduate. And pull the other end around really, really tight. Really tight, and attach it with the Velcro. Grab that chain on the ground if you would, Casey. That chain you took off earlier. I want you to wrap that chain around the...
What is it, 199?
Don't be funny. Leave me alone. I got problems of my own.
Good job. That's a good ride.
2 minutes.
Tell you right up front, this show ain't got no jugglers. If you want these jugglers, get out of here. This show's about tricking good. Pay attention, kids. Here we go. I need 2 kids in my show.
You're going to get a free goose. And I am not talking about the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? And you got Key West covered already. So you got that very good shape. Here we go. Well, you don't know. Folks, they really close to this. Everybody say, don't move!
Don't move!
Thank you, Doc. Everybody, hello. Most of the time when I go to talk like this, I got to people watch my property and laugh and they walk past. So that's good. I like that kind of challenge. But at the end of the day, somebody tells you about it, you're like, what? The best? Stay where you are. I'm going to give you all the best. Everybody come over here. There's nothing else to look at. Last chance. Thank you. Everybody here? Ma'am, could you come right up with the baby, please, to the line? Sir. Yes. Come up to the line for me, please, sir. Excuse me, sir. Could you please come to the line? Thank you. Yeah, that's what the line is there for the front row to be on the line, so we can accommodate some more people in the back. Hey, kids with a camera, come up. You don't want to miss this one. Come right over here, sir.
Yeah.
Tell me, everyone, I know you know. You go to the gym. What is this? Everybody, that one. I got a friend in the audience, a young man. He's from Texas. He's strong. He's one of the Beach Boys. He's going to come out here and give us 10 push-ups. His name is Harry. Hi. Have you seen my show before? Oh my gosh, he's never seen it. Come with me, please. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Quickly, I'm in a hurry. Oh boy. You look like a martial art expert. Oh my gosh.
Quella là si vede. Io sono andata lì.
Vamos. Everybody go home. Vamos. Vamos. My name is John. Oh, your hands are so soft. Where you from, Samo? Finland! Oh my God, he's far away from home. Finland in the house. Come here, everybody. You're lucky, okay? You're going to give us 15 push-ups. So you're from Finland. So hold on a second. We don't like this kind of push-ups from Finland, okay? Give us these in America. If you mess up, the Charlie Davis is going to do it. If you do it right, I'm going to show you how I get these muscles. Everybody must help them up and count. Together? Then I'll show you mine. Everybody come together. 15. One. Let's go, Finland. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Two more. One more. Give it up.
Every now and then you find a very modern-looking building in Old Town to the end of November. Church right behind the tree is called the Cornish Memorial A.M.E. Zion Church, named after Sandy Cornish. Sandy Cornish was a man who was born into slavery in the state of Maryland. bought his freedom, came all the way down to Key West to go into business. On the way down here, his freedom, Cornish escaped. He came down to Key West and injured his own hand, so he'd never be re-enslaved again. Church is named after him on the right. AME, by the way, stands for African Methodist and Episcopal. And right now, this is the very outskirts of Bahama Village. Most of Bahama Village is about 3 blocks in that direction. This is stop 5 on your map, Bahama Village Market. This is also your stop for the... This is stop number 5 on your map. And it was Pauline's uncle bought what is now the Hemingway house at a tax sale for $8,000. Ernest connecting his bedroom to the writing studio. More than 60 cats on the premises. All descended from Hemingway's cats. About half of them have 6 toes. Behind the banyan tree, that's the lighthouse that was built in 1847. Quarters housing for the 3 families who guarded the lighthouse. And they had 3 separate apartments back then. That way they could come and go at all different hours without worrying about disturbing each other. We'll be back there in about a half hour. Right now we're heading north on US Highway 1, and if we were to stay on this road long enough, it would take us to Fort Kent, Maine on the US border. A few moments ago, it goes from the Straits of Florida down to the Gulf of Mexico, covering just a little bit less than 2 miles. If you walk from one end of the Duval to the other, they call that doing the Duval crawl. Once again, and they created the world's largest key lime pie inside that restaurant. Key lime pie is a little like lemon meringue. Key lime is a tartar, less of a sweet taste. And they made the pie. It was 7 feet in diameter. They couldn't get it out the door in 1 piece. They took it out in 4 pieces and put them together on the back of a pickup truck. And they toasted Truman Avenue, named after Harry Truman, the 33rd President of the United States, and the parochial of the Sea Catholic Church. In 1922, one of the sisters, Sister Louise Gabrielle, completed work on the stone grotto coming up on your right, and that was built St. Mary's from the effects of hurricanes. Now, we have had hurricanes since 1922, but we haven't had the catastrophic killer kind that we had in the late 1800s and very early 1900s. During the Spanish-American War, the sisters volunteered their convent as a hospital and their services as nurses. A lot of history with this church. There are more than 50 bed and breakfasts on the island. Treetop Inn to your right, La Pension to your left. Our classic examples of 19th century shipbuilders' homes converted into guest houses or inns or bed and breakfast hotels. They both had a gold star on the door to show you Beaumont. We're now leaving the original island. We're now entering Newtown, and we're now driving on Main. Just stay seated, folks, while we're moving this. No compromise on that, please. Also on your left is the charter boat fishing row. Charter boat fishing row, you can charter a boat by taking on a party boat for a half day of fishing, full day of fishing, or a little night fishing if you don't mind going after the tarpon. That's a blue marlin, by the way, on your left. That big blue and silver fish over there. That was featured in Hemingway's novel, Old Man and the Sea. This is the City Marina on your left in the Garrison Bay boat dock. There's a waiting list of about 20 years if you want to bring your boat down there. Live at the Garrison Bay. Opening on your left used to have a swing bridge over it. The swing bridge would allow the trains to get down to Trumbo Point, Florida Keys. The furthest to the west is not this one. Furthest to the west is the Dry Tortugas, about 68 miles to the west of us. Between us and the Tortugas would be the Marquesas. During the American Civil War, Key West was held by the Union. The southernmost city was held by the Union. So, out of the whole state of Florida, this is the only city that did not secede from the United States until April. You might notice that if I was to take a right here on Flagler Avenue, that would take us directly to the next stop on the tour. Well, what kind of a tour guide would I be if I didn't think about the beaches, I didn't think about there on Stock Island? Those are part of the shrimping boat fleet, and they only drag their nets at nighttime. The local shrimp are so sensitive to light, they burrow under the sand all day. Now, that was discovered by accident in 1949. Some fishermen were here from Texas. They were too tired one night to pull up their nets, pulled them up in the morning, and found them filled with shrimp. Trees on your left are called the red. Through the roots, trapping soil, trapping debris, and Eventually that forms new land, new islands, and many of the Florida Keys were formed by the Red Manx, held by the Union during the entire Civil War. Anybody who wanted to shipwreck the wheat off the shore of Key West. And when the ship went down, this was your cue that it was time to go to work. For 1997, to the victims of idiots. King's Beach on your left, Killingham on your right, the African Cemetery at King's Beach. 1840s, an illegal slaving vessel was intercepted. For West Martello on your left was used as target practice after the Civil War was over. What's left of it is today used by the Garden Club. And the Garden Club is free, as well as the picnic grounds and the playground and the tennis courts on your right, as well as on your left the Garden Club, Kings Beach, the restrooms, changing facilities, and the long swimming dock. These are all free of charge, all open to the public with a limited amount of available free parking. And together they create a little company they call Standard Oil.
Perché cammina.
Allora, che vuol dire?
Henry Flagler was such a rich man,
Ma
he tried
no,
to
fai
spend his
qualche
money,
forza.
so he bought this railroad, and then he decided to go and bring the railroad all the way down to Key West. Now, this hotel is kind of worth talking about too. It was built after Flagler's death. Henry Flagler died in 1913. He owned the largest factory on the island, the only one that still stands today. Today it's a state office building. He wanted the trolley to help his employees get to work. So for 11 years, that trolley ran around the island pulled by 2 mules. Lily's backyard. Here comes a Dalmatian who looks very intent on getting in the water right now. There he goes. Oh, he looks real excited to get on there and get wet, as a matter of fact. That would be any more. He donated his personal mansion to the city, named it after his late wife Mercedes. Became a charitable hospital. He donated land to the city that became Bayview Park, but nobody wanted the trolleys. So right here he lined them up end to end, and he burned them to the ground. And it's kind of hard to see with a red car in the way, but where the fence is cut off, you can see the last one of Eduardo got those trolley wheels with a tree going right up through the middle of it. Supported by the columns, and shades the upstairs windows. Kind of like your eyebrows shade your eyes. That's indigenous to Key West. More than 100 of those are built, and more than 30 of them remain standing. In America. Something like so just show your green tickets when you report.
Photograph. Whitehead. In fact, at the other end of Whitehead, in front of you, that's stop number 1 with the aquarium. This is military housing to the left. Truman, Annex. President Harry Truman, he loved Key West. He spent a lot of his vacations. Everybody, the last trolley leaving downtown today, 5:30. So you got all absent chickens. They're protected. That's why there's so many of them. They do what they want to do. This is Duval Street. Robert Ripley Coast. It will go to the golf club next to 14 blocks here on Duval Street. Now you don't see this drag race on ESPN. This is April. It's a good time. I came in third this year. I did. I trained hard. Flew a heel. Right at the end. This is stop beautiful. Bougainvillea. Keep looking on your right. There's a car covered in mosaic tile. That's a piece of art. We call that a conch cruiser. Anybody up here with me? I'm holding the queen conch, the snail that lives in it. That's what you eat. Today, you're going to get a half dozen. Conch what? Conch blocks away. If you wanted to come back, get a photograph. Take it home once every 3-4 months. Somebody steals it and sell antiques. So, recently restored. If you look up the steps, there's a gold star on the double doors.
What does that mean?
Okay, whenever you see a star, that shows, again, excellent in renovation. the ground, we don't have a whole lot of property. Your house built round so. Antonio Diaz. Okay, right in front of you, Shipwreck Museum, and to the left, we're going to pull in, and there's the Key West Aquarium. That's where some of you will meet your friends. To your right, everybody, back to this building.
Sunset is out there. I don't know how the sunset's going to be tonight, but that's all right. Oh, now look at this. Let's see if I can squeeze through here. What do you think? Should I try it? I think I can. Just gotta watch this guy on the right, watch the guy on the left. This place called the Chapel by the Sea. Notice what they're advertising on the sign here. If anybody wants to get married, stress-free weddings, which is, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the definition of an oxymoron. An oxymoron, there's something that contradicts itself, like Jumbo Shrimp or, Microsoft Works or GM Quality Parts. And the yellow of that building there is the real color of a key lime at its ripest point. They're actually chartreuse or yellow when fully ripe, not green. Those deep dark green ones that you find in the stores all the time, and you can help you out with that. And also on the left-hand side here is this place called QS Handprint Fabrics. And this is a new store